Good night, and welcome to Top Gear.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
No, it's actually
No
recording.
way that was no way that was just fucking
This is in. This is going in. This is going
fine,
in.
fine. I think we should just introduce ourselves and then go through our story of high school.
All
You
right.
know? Talk
Well,
about what we're gonna, do, say.
all right. Well, in that case, my name is Kyle, and
We're
uh,
not saying last names.
uh,
We're not being formal.
hey, this is story time, man. We're not saying our full names and social
Yeah,
security
it's
numbers.
well, you gotta. It's story time. You gotta,
I'm not giving you my
don't
mom's
say your
credit card number.
real. You gotta say something. You can't just be like, "Hi, my name is Kyle." Like, no, you gotta have a last name.
Well, I don't have any Monster Energy drink with me, but I'm still a Kyle.
Okay, fine.
This is going in.
No,
This is all gonna be in this first episode.
that we don't have an intro. Just be like, "Hey, how's it going?" Just like you're talking to a person that can't talk.
All right. Hello. Uh, this is the Nerd Table. We don't have a music intro yet, but we are working on it. We also don't have any sound bites, but I will probably make up for it with references that don't make any sense, because that is true to my character. So, good evening. My name is Kyle, and this is going to be our compilation of stories of high school experience that should have been really boring and devoid of any sort of fun due to our circumstances as being literal bottom feeders at the school. Uh, I am joined tonight by my co-host Jarrett, who
And
what'd you say?
I'm pretty sure you put most people to sleep already. But
This is my
it's gonna fit with par with what we got to say.
this is my radio voice. I gotta be
This is your
smooth.
radio voice.
It's my radio
You
voice.
gotta smooth.
Hey,
I would say this is what I think a college professor would sound like
well,
before he gives like an hour-long speech about photosynthesis. Fuck, that word is hard.
you probably should have gone to a couple more English classes, but that's all right. We were too
You
busy
know I
fixing.
was in the dumb English class.
This is all going
I
in.
could have helped it, but fuck high school, man.
Hey, I took public speaking in college. I should know what I'm doing.
You should. You should.
This is all going in. All right.
um. So where do we start then? Where do we start?
So this is episode 1 called "The Train Wreck," because if we had any sound effects added, it would definitely sound like a train wreck. But episode 1 should start where it all began in 6th grade
Well, like,
at a little place called
oh, so
Nature's Classroom.
we're going
And
all the way back to nature's classroom.
I know you haven't formally introduced yourself, but we'll work on it for the next episode. How about you
Jarrett,
introduce yourself right now? Throw in a couple
I'm
details.
Jarrett. Uh, I was an asshole at the beginning of the story. Please don't judge me.
Yeah, and
uh,
I spent every evening at Nature's Classroom crying into a pillow. So, we're fair. It's
I
fair.
don't. Did we ever? I don't think we ever met in nature's classroom.
Oh, we did.
Did we?
Yeah, we did.
Because I remember meeting Nathan
I did too.
at because I was at his table during lunch, like when we would have lunch in the middle of the days.
Yeah,
I remember waking up and then like everybody would like go immediately to the bathroom and fake brush their teeth, and then immediately go to the mess hall where we would have breakfast and lunch because they would keep talking forever.
I had a drawing class with
Oh.
Nathan. That was pretty fun. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think the reason we met and hung out was because Jet left halfway through, and I had no one to talk to.
I do remember that. Why did he leave?
He had his own apartment with his mom. Like, he couldn't have gotten homesick.
I was in the dorm with Ezra, Quest, I think, and then one other person I don't remember.
I was
But
with
I remember it was like we were all pretty cool. Like I don't remember most of the nights because like everyone was so exhausted most of the time.
yeah. I mean, it went by pretty quick, which was in the
Yeah.
moment it was kind of
It
sad.
was what, two what was it? One night, 2 days?
Oh no, it was like a whole week, wasn't it?
I don't remember,
I think it was a
honestly.
whole week, and
I
it
don't
was
remember
four
much from it.
nights.
I remember the food was good though.
It was good food. That was fun, and
Do you remember the what was it? I remember I think the first night we went there, we had chicken parmesan.
the French fries were delicious,
Yeah.
and the
We
pizza was
had chicken
great.
parm, French fries, we had fucking pizza. We
Chicken
had chicken
nuggets.
nuggets. I remember at
Yeah,
one day we would like there was well I think it was only my group because I went on like a hiking expedition and they packed us like the Lunchables with the pizza Lunchables is what I got.
yeah. That
And I remember that was like the first, like one of the first times I actually had a pizza Lunchable, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like,
the food
it was so good.
was great, but we should probably interrupt our uh, content to explain what Nature's Classroom even was and explain more or less why we were there to begin with. Yeah, so this is all going into the final cut, of course, because that's how we roll. But anyway, so we were all in sixth grade, each in our own individual elementary schools. So there
It
was,
was at the end of the year. I remember that it was like the last thing we did.
yeah, it was pretty much the end of the final quarter of sixth grade, and it was people from what, eight schools, I think, seven or eight schools, and we all were going into the same middle school the next year. So it was to try to get us to actually meet people from outside of our towns, and that in principle was good. However, uh, what wasn't good was the fact that it was in a rundown church camp in Old Orchard Beach, Maine, that was renovated to the point where
Do you remember who was it? Who was it that went almost like neck deep into the fucking marsh in Maine? Who was it? Was it Sarah? Sorry, I'm getting ahead of the story, but I remember somebody went like neck deep into the fucking marsh.
Uh, I don't remember who. I just remember going to the beach and it was a miserable day.
Oh, it was awful. I was one of the only people. I remember going into the water fully clothed.
You don't want to go into the water in Maine in the middle of summer, let alone spring, on a cold
No,
winter
it was
day.
cold. It was a foggy fucking mid afternoon. It was like maybe fucking 65 degrees. You know,
No, it
like it
was
was
like
cold.
50.
It was cold, but yet everybody, like most people, went into the water.
Yeah,
And we loaded up on buses with our soppy clothes with regret.
I definitely hated it.
I don't.
However, the most
I
fun
really
part,
don't. Yeah, go
I
ahead. Keep
loved
going.
the manhunt game. That was really fun.
Yeah, no. Was that? Are you talking? Okay, because the game I remember the most was like the Survivor game where like they had the minnows,
Yeah, that one.
and then the big yeah that one. That's the one. Yeah, and I remember I was at the bottom of the food chain. I was like I was shrimp. I was a shrimp,
It's
and
literally life.
yeah, like everything, literally everything ate me in the game. Like not in real life, but like in the game, everything was after us. And I remember outrunning. I was like one of the last two shrimps alive near the end of the game. It was the last 10 minutes that I got tagged by Ezra Asbury. At the end of the game, I was running away through the woods, hit a fucking tree stump, fell down, and Ezra came up and tagged me. Like, because he was the one that was chasing me.
Of course, it was Ezra.
And and that was like like he was like man like I didn't think like he wasn't like a dickhead about it, you know. He was like damn, like I didn't think like I was ever gonna catch you.
Yeah, that
It was a good time,
that was a
Nature's
fun
Classroom.
game, And there were some fun things I remember from it, but we weren't in the same group hardly ever. Like I'm trying to think of when we
I think
actually met there.
I don't remember anything except I remember like because when we all showed up, we all were like in our like class, like from our school. Like it was Bridgewater, Pomfret, Woodstock, Reading. Who else was there? There
Killington,
was one more. Killington, yeah, Killington,
West
and I think that
Windsor.
was it. West Windsor, and that was it. And I remember seeing you and Jet because Jet was wearing a bright orange shirt of some kind. I remember.
Yeah, he liked to wear bright colors.
Yeah. And I remember you guys stood out the most because you wore the bright, like you weren't like everybody else wearing like dark blue, green, like maybe occasionally yellow and red thrown in there. Like everybody kind of had like a like everyone was like, "Oh, I don't want to be too out there." And then fucking Jet was out there being like, "No, I'm a fucking flamingo and I'm strutting my colors."
Yeah,
'Cause it was you. It was mainly your school that stood out the most. I would love to hear like more about like the groups that we weren't a part of. Like I
yeah.
know how we would call like other groups like the Hicks and the popular group and
And we were the nerd
like
table.
the like and we were the nerd table. Like I want to know what they like because we obviously have a different perspective. And
Yeah,
I'm sure that's the same with like the other people, but to us, we felt like we were the outcast, you know?
yeah. I always filled the role of the dumb one. I was the dumb one, and I played into that
Really?
quite a bit.
You don't? Oh wow, yeah. We really got to go into that
I
then.
was the dumb one. Yeah, you were the jerk. I was the dumb one, and then
We're straying from the
yeah, this is what's gonna
from
happen. This
nature's
is a work in
classroom.
progress until we get an actual narrative written, which we probably can for future
Yeah.
episodes.
I mean, then again, like nature's classroom, like we don't remember much.
No,
That was so
and
long ago.
I mean that was at this point. You got to think about it. That was what year was that?
So sixth
2011.
grade, yeah,
Yeah, it was 2011, and so that was almost 11 years ago at this point, which is
yeah.
crazy to think about.
Like and like nature's classroom was fun and all, but there's nothing like there's no like relationship. Like it was like a literally a week camp.
Yeah, it was a week
Like
camp with good
yeah, like
food,
you're not
good
gonna like
games.
yeah, that's all you're gonna kind of remember from it. Like you're not gonna remember too much. Like I
No,
don't remember much about like the bunks. Like I remember it was bunk beds, but I don't remember much being in the room.
oh, they
You know,
sucked. I slept in my jeans.
I do remember that. Yeah, like you. I remember I always did the same. Like, I slept in the clothes that I was wearing that day, and then changed the next day.
Yeah, I did the
Like
same. I smelled disgusting. Totally
yeah,
disgusting.
no,
And the
like and
showers.
I don't remember taking a shower because there was two showers I think on the boys' side,
Yep.
and there was always like a line of like 8 people, and I was like, "Fuck this!"
They
Like I'm
made
not gonna
those big
sit there for.
showers.
And also, I want to point out every time that the line of the shower, like it wasn't like them wearing clothes; they were in their boxers, expecting to walk into the shower.
Oh yeah,
Like it was always just like our shirtless classmates just waiting for the shower.
I went last every single time, and the water was so cold by the time I got in there.
Never, I never took one. Never
You
took
are
one the whole
lucky.
time we were there.
Mr. Hanson made me take a shower every single day.
You were on the second floor, weren't you?
Yes, I was.
I was on the first. I had
Ah, you lucky.
I don't remember who I had. I think it was somebody's kid. Jordan Allard's dad, I think, was like the head.
Yeah, then he doesn't care. He's not a teacher. I guess, or was he a
Yeah.
teacher?
No, he wasn't. He was just his dad.
Yeah, then
Fuck
totally.
Jordan Allard, by
Like,
the way.
oh,
Like we were talking about in elementary school. Like I don't know how Jordan Allard is now. I'll say his full name because I fucking hate that kid. He
oh yeah.
made elementary school for me hell.
So now,
Like I I only had a couple good memories with him because, like, at some points in elementary school, it was like love and hate relationship. Like, I would like the guy, and then all of a sudden he would do something and fucking embarrass me. And I I think about him all the time. I'm like, I wonder where he is now. You know.
Yeah, he's
So
probably.
Jordan, if you're listening to this, hit me up sometime. How
Yeah,
you spell my name is how you think.
yeah, exactly. We would love to have people call in from the 0 listeners we're probably gonna have in this.
I got one more last like key memory.
All right.
Is the dining hall was gorgeous. Like for some reason they had shit like planes and like other shit hanging from the ceiling, and it was like really cool looking.
It was
Remember
the
that?
it was the best building in the entire campus, that's for sure.
Oh, and that's why it was in the middle, which makes sense. But like I did like that. That was definitely one of like the like I loved being in that building.
But it's also, yeah, that was a great building. I loved it there. This will get weird
Tonight
a
we
little
are
bit.
drinking Skulls vodka, not from Russia because it's hard to find anything from Russia nowadays.
Oh yeah, future listeners, currently there's a war going on in Ukraine, and we might end in nuclear annihilation. So if we survive 2022,
Dog, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear that like 40 years. Like if it doesn't happen, like that would be
uh,
funny to hear. Be like, wow, we were paranoid.
let's not jinx it here, okay? We
Yeah, yeah.
want
All
we
right.
want this to
Continue on your.
this,
But yes,
this
that's
could
what we're
be
drinking
a
tonight.
time capsule. We just survived a 2-year long pandemic that's still ongoing, but everyone's forgotten about it because Russia might end the world. So
Yeah, I am vaccinated, and yet people still want me to get a booster
I
to
already got the
help the
booster.
vaccination, which doesn't make fucking. I'm not getting the booster.
And
That,
kids of 2050, if you're listening to this to learn the culture of the 2010s,
it
people
was
who got
shit.
vaccinated were considered liberals because of
No, you're going
science.
off track. You're going off track.
Sorry, I'll probably be
We're
the
not
first
here. We're
politician
not
in
here to talk
2050.
about your political views.
I'll probably
We're,
be a
we're here to
politician by
talk
then,
about our
so
high school experience. Now,
okay.
go into more detail about why Nature's Classroom was hell for you.
Okay, nature's classroom was hell for me because I didn't want to go in the first place. Jet, Cody, and I were all going to make it so that we didn't have to go. Well, Cody got out of it. Cody didn't end up going. I just remembered that.
Yeah, I
Jet
don't remember that.
stayed 2 days, then left and hung out with Cody the rest of the week. I I had to stay. I hated it there. I hardly slept. I hated being in the shower. I didn't poop the entire
I remember
week.
the shower. Like I remember it was basically like a military. Like it was shower, toilet, sink. That's it.
Yeah, it was
Like it
bare
was
bones.
it was maybe 6 feet deep. Like it was a 6 by 4 room. It was
It was
shower,
tiny.
toilet, sink. That was it. That was literally it.
I can't believe
You
I
didn't
even.
have room to like. You could probably fit like 4 people in there comfortably. Like one laying in the shower, one sitting on the toilet, and then two standing. And that's it.
That's why I went last. I did not want to deal with any person, so I waited until the last second I could take a shower.
Was
And
it that, or did you not want to show your dick to somebody on accident?
uh, that too. I also didn't want to see me. But
True, because we were what out of 6th grade, fucking
yeah, it was sixth grade,
like what a 12?
2011. So I was
12?
11.
I was 11, I think. Yeah, you were 11. I was
I was
11
11.
too. Yeah, we were 11
And
years old.
man, those were the days, weren't they? It's too bad you didn't go to Pomfret because we could have talked so many stories about Pomfret. We got into so much stuff at Pomfret. Like,
Same with Bridgewater, dude.
man,
Because like back in fucking 3rd to 5th grade, I was like one of the major quote unquote sponsors for the bottle cap races we had there. We had a little stream, and we would put bottle caps upstream and race bottle caps downstream, and whoever like got to like the soccer field first with their bottle cap won.
Huh.
And because my family drank a lot of soda, I would bring a lot of soda bottle caps to school, like in like a little baggie, and I would give them out to people that didn't have bottle caps, and we would race like fucking. I think the biggest race I saw was like 15 bottle caps down the thing, and how we chose like and like don't get the stream we're racing on maybe 3 bottle caps wide. That's how wide the fucking. But it was a steady stream. Like, it was strong enough that it was like a good competition,
Huh.
and it got shut down by the teachers in 6th grade
Yeah.
because we weren't allowed in the woods there because that wasn't school property.
See, we had woods that were school property. We built forts in the woods, and it was fun. But one thing that happened is we every recess we had a game called Elimination, where it was like dodgeball, and it was a brutal game. I mean, I hit the ground a couple times, tripping on the ball, running away from it because as I am, and
Yeah, you don't want to get hit by it, but
no, you
then
don't want to
you
get hit
trip
by
on
it,
it.
but you still trip over it.
No,
And
you don't want to get hit by it, is what I said. You
exactly, you don't
don't,
want to get
not
hit by it.
do. Yeah.
It got shut down because some twerps probably uh, were intentionally hitting people in the head with the ball. Uh, um,
Was
so
it you?
no, it wasn't me. And so one day, all the teachers were having a meeting. So we had some parents be our chaperone for recess. So they said, okay, you can't play elimination. We said, okay. So we said, we're going to play a game called Pudding, which was elimination, but with a different name.
But yeah, with different.
So we played it. Well, the teachers walked out, and they were like, what are you doing? We said, we're playing Pudding. And they were so pissed. That was, uh, that's school, man. This has nothing to do with the conversation because this is like pre Nerd Tale, but
Yeah, this is before this
oh,
was a
this
thing.
is
But
like
dude,
backstory. This is like the
yeah,
Silmarillion to the Lord of the Rings. Uh, and we were trying to talk about The
yeah.
Hobbit
Now,
here.
now they're really realizing why it's called the Nerd Table. If you just bring up Lord of the Rings.
You know, we met Nathan in H's classroom. I don't think I met anyone else there except for you, and hopefully we can get Nathan in on
See, I
this.
don't remember that. I don't remember that.
So you and I definitely met before the end because we sat together on the bus ride home, and this is more or less the beginning of the nerd table. Um, I met Nathan in a drawing class because, of course, Nathan, that's all he does.
Yeah,
Sorry,
because
Nathan,
yeah.
it's kind of true. I mean, other than playing Minecraft and complaining about how my build sucked, which is what you did do, and we will talk about that. If you watch this, Nathan, and get to this far into the video, you will come onto this podcast, though. I will make sure this happens. Otherwise, you will not get your die back.
I think that's all. Like, we really said as much as we can about Nature's Classroom. I think, right?
Well, there's the bus.
I don't remember the like us sitting next to each other on the bus.
You don't remember that? Okay, so this
Well, start
is
talking about it, and then like maybe it will like
yeah.
click something in my mind.
Well,
But like at the
well,
moment in time, I do not remember sitting next to you at all on the bus.
well. Maybe it was your clone, because I remember Jet wasn't there. He was my best friend from elementary school. We'll get into that in another episode. Cody wasn't there because he didn't even go in the first place. I didn't really
He
have very.
wasn't there. Emily was there. I remember
Emily
that.
was. We were on these coach buses, and I had no one to sit next to.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching. Fuck. It was a Disney movie. A couple of them, if I remember
All
correctly.
I remember doing. I don't remember the drive out there. I remember the drive back because we sat together, and all we did was talk about video games the entire way back. And I was like, I went through this whole week not using the bathroom, taking cold showers that did nothing, sleeping in my clothes, crying every night,
And then talking to some fucking redneck on the way
and then I
home.
talked to some loser on the bus who made me think of video games that I was going to play when I got home because I had nothing better to do in my life back then. And
Maybe that's why I don't remember it, because my brain was like, I was just talking to some fucking weirdo. Like,
that's
you know?
probably true. We had a couple classes together, and then you told me that, that we're not
What did I tell you?
friends.
What did I tell you? To your face.
To my face. Like, oh, we're not friends. I don't remember the full
If
thing.
I remember correctly, I added on, I don't want to hang out with others.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crappy.
Yeah, no, it was definitely not a highlight of my.
So
I definitely regret saying that.
yeah, you're all good. We've gotten past that point, obviously, unless I've been holding it
Oh,
against you
that
this whole
was
time, and I'm
yeah,
using this podcast to tarnish your
yeah. I find
reputation.
out like you're like, no, I'm not over it,
No,
motherfucker.
it's uh, I just ended up
I just
hanging out
wanted
with
to hear
Jet
you
more.
say it again.
Yeah, just tell it to my face again, you loser. Um,
Yeah.
no, I just ended up hanging out with Jet for middle school. Middle school sucked. Yeah, let's try to get Nathan on for the next episode. So Nathan, if you've gotten this far, and we've already talked about you, and
Which I doubt.
you probably haven't, which is okay because no one's probably going to get this far in the podcast. But next episode, you should join us, Nathan. I am talking to you, and you can talk about 8th grade science class with Mr. Becker. The following episode will be either with Nathan or it'll be when we met again in freshman year, first semester,
All
at
right,
the nerd table.
let's wrap up the episode, I guess.
So,
Then
that was our prologue, that was our introduction, that's kind of how we met, that's a little bit of the school system, how it worked, and
little bit about the
a little
future, what's to
foreshadowing,
come. Yeah.
and we are looking forward to continuing this story, and we welcome you back to the nerd table next week. Good night.
As long as you bring that fucking shitty pizza.
Oh, I fucking love that shitty pizza.
It was pretty good though. It was pretty good.